One second, let me just go pull up this one. We're up. No, sir. Let me just pull it out now. Yeah, we're live. All right, this is the I.S.U.P.K. Wednesday law class. Also, remember, check out Commanding Gen.YAHANNA's radio show, which is Monday, 2 a.m. UK time. Also, check out the Brotherhood class Tuesday in the States, midnight. Wednesday, the law class, midnight. Thursday, the scripture breakdown, midnight. The Lashwan Kodash, midnight. That's the classes in the States. Also, the classes here in the UK. Monday, the history class, 7 p.m. till 9. Wednesday, the law class, 7 p.m. till 9. Thursday, the scripture breakdown class, 7 p.m. till 9. And we're going to go into oh, yeah, also remember, Passover's coming up April 20th. April 20th, man. Every black and Hispanic should be there. Every black and Hispanic should be at the Lord's Passover, which is what, Woodhaven. The Woodhaven Banqueting Hall, Queens, New York. Every black and Hispanic should be there, man. Listen, the time of Passover, when the Lord allowed the angels to pass over our houses in Egypt and stop off at the Egyptians' houses, you had to be under that roof, man. And you had to have blood on the doorpost of your door so the angel would see it and be like, all right, then. You had to be under the roof of that house in order to stay alive, man. Listen, the house that you meant to be under at this Passover is the Woodhaven, man. Same thing. Same way you was under a roof back in Exodus, the 12th chapter. The roof the Lord requires you to be under this Passover is the Woodhaven, was it banqueting suite? I can't remember the address, but I know that I'll be under that roof, man. I'll be under that roof, man. And that's where the Lord requires you to be. So that's where we're supposed to be. We're going to get into a few scriptures of the importance of seasoning your speech, man, and minding your own business, and knowing when to speak and when not to speak, and how to stay out of other people's business. Because you got a ton of busybodies in Israel, man. Got a ton of busybodies talking about stuff that don't concern them, talking about stuff that ought not, worrying about other people's business like they ain't got their own problems to worry about. I mean, we are a nosy nation, man. So we're going to go into a few scriptures on how to mind your business and how to keep your mouth shut at times, man. How to know when to speak and when not to speak. Because there's a ton of people that speak recklessly. There's a ton of people where their mouth gets them in trouble. You know, most people get killed because of that mouth, man. Most people is running that mouth on the Instagram, and then when they get caught in person, they're running for their life. I've seen a ton of these videos. You run your mouth on the Instagram, and then you're running. The way you run your mouth on the Instagram, you have to run for your life when the person who's running your mouth about is chasing you, man. When all of this could have just been avoided if you knew how to shut your mouth, and knew how to speak and when to speak. I knew that there's no point in you speaking recklessly, man. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 16. Matthew chapter, sorry, say that again. You can't get it up. Just type your name in for attendance because we can't get the sheet up. So just type your name in on the chat and we'll write down your attendance. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. So we're going to start off in Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16.
Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
So Christ was talking to his men, his disciples. He said, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Now, what do wolves do to sheep? Wolves devour sheep, right? Wolves kill sheep and so forth. So he's saying, I send you as sheep amongst wolves. Go ahead.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
Says, be ye what?
Therefore wise as serpents.
So this is what you need to be, man. You have to be wise as a serpent. Now, what does wise mean? You have wisdom and be wise and be aware of your surroundings and be aware of certain situations. So Christ said, be wise as a serpent. And how's a serpent wise? Because a serpent knows when to jump, when to attack, and when not to attack. A serpent knows when to go and when not to go. What do serpents do? Serpents operate on what? They got senses. Serpents operate on senses and vibrations. So they know when their prey is there, when they need to, And you should be wise because you're like a sheep amongst wolves. So you need to know in every situation what you're meant to do. You're meant to weigh up a situation, man. Christ said, be wise as serpents. So you're meant to weigh up a situation. Now, when it says be wise, it means taking notes of your surroundings, knowing when to speak, knowing when not to speak, knowing when you must defend yourself, knowing when not to defend yourself, knowing when to do things, man. Be wise as a serpent. Go ahead.
And harmless as doves.
So while you're being wise, also be harmless, man. You're meant to be harmless. What does it mean to be harmless? Don't be speaking down on people without a cause, man. Don't be all up in people's business, getting people mad and upset. Obviously, now there's a time. This is what it says, be wise as a serpent. Now, if you're at camp, you blaze and whatnot, man, you teach and so forth. But it says, be wise as a serpent and harmless as doves, meaning be mindful of what you say also, man. Because what you say, you can offend someone. You not knowing when to run your mouth, you can offend someone. You can be the difference between someone staying in the truth and leaving the truth just by what you say, man. You can be the difference between a brother doing something he's not supposed to do just because you weren't wise enough to shut your mouth, man. Certain brother, go ahead. Yeah, I'll take one. Now, you have to be wise in certain situations, man. If you see a brother or sister's going through something, if you ain't uplifting them, just be quiet, man. Don't put them down and make them feel worse than they already do. You think they don't already feel bad? And then you not being seasoned and not knowing when to speak. You just come in talking all nonsense for what I say. You just come in talking all nonsense, man. Read that again for me.
Matthew 18.
Matthew 10 and 16.
Matthew 10, 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents.
Listen, be wise as a serpent, man. Wise with everything you do. Use wisdom in everything you do. Every decision you make. Be wise, man. Don't be just doing something without thinking. Don't be doing something for the sake of doing it. Go ahead.
Wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
It says be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Because now you know a dove can't harm anyone. You need to be as harmless as a dove. Meaning don't be getting in no fights over nothing and so forth. You're harmless as a dove, man. From there, give me Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1. Give me Proverbs 15 and 1. So we're going to go more into the Bible, man.
Proverbs 15 and 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath.
A what?
A soft answer turneth away wrath.
It says a soft answer turneth away wrath. Now, when it says a soft answer, it don't mean you have to be soft and a Christian, but it's just talking about knowing what to say to diffuse a problem, man. A soft answer turneth away wrath. What's wrath? Anger. You know those people, you be in your car and someone be looking at you or angry and whatnot. There's a soft answer turneth away wrath, man. You see a brother's looking at you all angrily. It says, oh, shalom, everything good. A soft anger turneth away wrath, man. You step on a brother's foot. You say, oh, I apologize, I didn't mean to. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Don't be doing something all up in a brother's face, asking him what he wants to do. Like, did you know some people get stabbed over what? Staring at someone, right? You look at someone too long, they want to stab you, man. The Bible says a soft answer what?
A soft answer turneth away wrath.
Get me see a brother looking at you all angrily, grabbing up his waist. Just say, yo, shalom, brother. Everything all good. A soft answer does what?
Turneth away wrath.
A soft answer turneth away wrath. Then that brother would be like, oh, nah, he ain't no harm. He's all right. He ain't coming to me on the same angry tip that I'm going to him. And then that soft answer will turneth away wrath. Now, when you say it's a soft answer, it's not literally talking about be a Christian and beg this man not to stab you and so forth. Just talking about, obviously, knowing what to say, man. Knowing how to deal with a situation. It says a soft answer turneth away wrath. So you being able to give a good answer and, knowing how to speak to a brother will turneth away anger, man. It could be the difference between you like brawling on the roadside and pulling out knives and whatnot. I mean, you caught a brother up on the road. You know you're in the wrong. You ain't got to stare him out and say what you're gonna do about it. Nah, man. Because before you know it, you're gonna be in some commotion in the road. All you have to say is, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up," and then that's it, man. A soft anger does what?
Turneth away wrath.
A soft answer turneth away wrath. And in the black community, man, if we knew how to speak to one another, the stabbings would go down, man.
God.
But because we don't know how to speak to one another, we don't turn off away wrath. We be running our mouth on Instagram Live. Is it Instagram Live?
God.
We be running our mouth on Instagram Live, talking about the ups. Running our mouth on Facebook until you bump into that person. Listen, not every person is going to let you run your mouth to them.
God.
There's some people that will let you get away with it, and there's others that will knock your teeth out, man. So this is why you just don't run your mouth in the first place. The Bible says a soft answer turneth away wrath. Knowing how to speak to a brother can turn away anger, man. Knowing how to speak to a brother can be the difference between you getting your head kicked in, man. Knowing how to speak to a brother. But you don't know how to speak to people because you haven't learned how to speak to people, and you're not wise as a serpent and you're not harmless as a dove. You're going to get yourself in problems. So know how to speak to people, man. And the first step to learning how to speak to people and how to operate is getting these online classes, man. Well, getting the classes in person and you will learn. Go ahead.
What grievous words stir up anger?
But what?
What grievous words stir up anger?
The Bible says grievous words stir up anger, man. What's grievous words? Harsh words, man. You caught a brother up on the road, you're swearing at him, you're sticking your middle finger up, you're asking him what does he want to do. You're talking to him about, oh, don't let me go in the trunk. Is that what they say? Don't let me go in the trunk. Yeah, in England, we say, don't let us go in the boot. They call it a trunk in America. In England, we say, don't let us pop the boot. Yeah, man, you're talking about, oh, don't let you go in the boot. Listen, what do you think that's going to do to the person you're speaking to? He's going to get angry. You think he ain't got a weapon in his boot as well? You think he ain't got tools in his... Listen, you're talking about you going to your boot. He's probably got his tool right in the side of his door, man. Don't even give you time to get to your boot. Whereas the first verse said, a soft answer turneth away wrath. And then a grievous answer gets everybody angry, man. And then the kickoff starts. Do you know how much fights we could avoid? How much arguments we could avoid? How much problems we could avoid? We could avoid all these problems, man, just if we knew how to speak to one another. Just if we knew how to deal with one another. But obviously we don't, so there's all these problems. Read that again from the top.
A soft answer turneth away wrath.
There you go, man. Speak to a brother correct. And he's got no reason to be angry with you. Speak to a brother correct. And there's no need for him to want to fight you, man. Why is a man going to want to fight you if you say to him, yo, you're all right, is everything good? Why is a man going to want to fight you if you salute him and whatnot? If a brother's looking at you and you say to him, what the F you looking at? Do you want this work? You say, what the F you looking at? Do you want this work? What do you think's going to happen, man? You're going to get into a fight on the roadside where you just could say, yeah, I see a brother staring at you. Because understand this. As black men, there's a thing where black men don't like other black men. You've noticed it, right, in Crawford? There's a thing where black men don't like other black men. So you could be walking down the road, minding your business, A group of black men will see you and they look at you and they're thinking, yo, what's he on? Well, it is a lot of black men, obviously they have enemies and they're thinking, yo, could this be one of them? So black men have this fear factor where if they see a black man that could be a threat to them, they have to, you know, make it known. They look at him and stare at him and ask him, yo, what's your problem? What you want to do? Whereas we'll see white men when they're our biggest enemy, and guess what? We don't even look at them twice, man. We'll see a white man, we'll walk past him, we'll give him way and hold the door for him. Whereas you see a black man, you brother, what do? He's looking at us. We want to pull over. What's your problem? We want to punch his car window in. A black man you've never met in your life. You're going from A to B. This man's going from A to B. But because he's looked at you a certain way, now you want to stab him over nothing, man. Read that from the top.
A soft answer, turneth away wrath.
And if you see a brother looking at you all harshly, man, like he wants to go do this and that, what you say is, hey, shalom, brother, you too hard. He ain't even going to know what shalom means. He ain't even going to know what Yituwab means. From there, he's going to be like, oh, this brother ain't coming to me in the same spirit that I'm coming to him. He's going to be like, this brother ain't looking for a problem like how I'm looking for a problem. And then that answer will turn away wrath. But if he's looking at you and you're looking at him and he's asking you what you want to do and you're asking him what do you want to do, before you know it, you just plan to go from A to B, but now you're having a full-on brawl in the street just because you didn't know how to deal with a brother, didn't know how to diffuse a situation. In life, sometimes you have to diffuse a situation, man, before it turns into something else. Because look, especially in England, these little situations turns into a stabbing now. Read on.
But grievous words stir up anger.
But grievous words stir up anger. This man's running his mouth to you, and then that's pissing you off. You're running your mouth to him, that's pissing him off. Excuse my French, go ahead.
And there's people dead today, man. That could open a word with a man that's shut his mouth. Man.
Exactly.
Like, two people in their life was loud, they also did trademark in the
casino. What's his name?
We had to go do it. Baby Lane.
Baby Lane.
That was dead, man. Sometimes you let things go.
Exactly, man. Sometimes let things go and, you know, just move on, man. Go ahead.
What grievous words stir up anger?
What grievous words stir up anger. And many young black men is dead because of their grievous words. Many black men is dead because these grievous words on the internet. What they thought was fun and games is grievous words which stirs up anger. Now, imagine you're running your mouth about someone. You think they're not angry about it. And most of these people's walking around with knives, man. A situation that could have been avoided. You're now dead because of words, because you ran your mouth, because you didn't know when to shut the hell up. Your mom has to bury you now. You're running your mouth. All this time you're running your mouth. You ain't even got no money put down for your funeral, man, because that's where it leads to. How much a funeral is about? What, 10, 11 grand? Your mom has to go into a life savings, man, to pay for your funeral because you run your mouth too much, because of your grievous words, because you don't know when to shut the hell up, man. You don't know when to shut the hell up and keep quiet. The Bible says a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger. And then when men are angry, what do? Walk with their weapons, man. Go ahead.
The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright.
So what?
The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright.
It says the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright. Now in Matthew 10:16 it says be wise as a serpent. And here it says the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright. Meaning what? A wise man is knowledgeable, man. A wise man's words is knowledgeable. When a wise man speaks, knowledge is coming out of his mouth. Ain't no nonsense coming out of a wise man's mouth. A wise man ain't gonna tell you what, go sleep with whores. A wise man ain't gonna tell you what, go shoot you brother, go stab you brother. There's a wise man is not, knowledge is in a wise man's tongue, man. A wise man's gonna tell you at the end of the day that man's your brother, man. Don't put out that video about him. Don't make no Instagram video. Don't be gay like the I.S.U.P.K recording conversations. That's what they're doing, it record conversations. Yeah, and don't be gay like the I.S.U.P.K recording conversations. Talking all this, making all these 4-hour videos. What do? They make 4-hour videos. Like, listen, who talks about a man for 4 hours, man? Talks about a man for 4 hours, man. Go ahead.
But the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
But the what?
But the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
Says the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness, man. What's the mouth of fools? What do they pour out? Running their mouth 24/7, all up in other people's business, gossiping, being a busybody, talking things which they ought not. That's a fool, man. Run your mouth so damn much. Don't forget what you ran your mouth about. And remember this, man. When you run your mouth, not everybody's going to give you a pass. You're going to run your mouth about someone, and that person's going to be at your door. And this is why people turn up at your door and be like, wow, especially women, they turn up at your door ready to fight you, saying, oh, well, you said this about me to this person. You said this about me to that person. And what do? Hide in your house looking out the window, man. Listen, just don't run your mouth and no one will be kicking your door down. Don't run your mouth and no one will be beating you up on the street. Don't run your mouth and I won't have to see you made to go on your knees and apologize in an Instagram video, man. Go ahead.
All these most type of videos, brothers getting their head bashed in, women fighting. All of them died.
Exactly, through someone running their mouth. Exactly. You seen that video on the train where that woman was running her mouth and the next man beat the crap out of her boyfriend for it? Oh, you see it on the train? Yeah, all because she was running her mouth, man. Or because she didn't know when to shut up. The man said, you know what? I'm not going to hit a woman. And what did he do? He beat the hell out of her boyfriend, man. He gave him some uppercuts on the train, man. Listen, I had, you see, with all the uppercuts he gave him, I had the umph. Was it the umph? I had the umph with every uppercut he gave him, man. All because his woman didn't know how to shut her mouth. She damn got her boyfriend beat up. Go ahead.
The eyes of the Most High are in every place.
The eyes of the Most High is in every place, man. The Most High sees everything. Go ahead.
Beholding the evil and the good.
Behold means to see. The Lord sees the evil and the good. The Lord sees you running your mouth. The Lord sees you being a busybody. The Lord sees you picking up the phone like this to chat everybody's business. Listen, the Lord sees you pick up the phone to see you chat everybody's business. The Lord knows that you brought credit just to chat everybody's business, just to be a busybody running around. Go ahead.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, man. It's a tree of life, man. Meaning with your mouth here, you speak good things, man. The words you speak encourages brothers, man. You raise brothers up, man. You make brothers feel good, man. You use your tongue to uplift your brothers. You see a brother struggling with something, you tell him, yo, listen, don't worry, man. We're gonna get through it together. It's not the end of the world. Don't worry, man. I'm gonna help you out and so forth. Yeah, you're supposed to be saying to him, oh, go kill yourself. If you're feeling suicidal, go jump off the cliff then. You heard the saying, then if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. Listen, man, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, shut your damn mouth, man. You don't know what people are going through. But then you're unseasoned and you don't know what to say and what not to say. Because you talk so damn much. You could be doing more harm than good. Making other people's business yours. Worry about your own business, man. Surely you got your own problems in your own life. Why the hell are you worrying about my life when you got your own problems in your life, man? Listen, sort out your own problems and then you can worry about mine. Don't be worrying about anybody else's life and you ain't even sorted out your own. You ain't even all the way straight, but then you're worrying about other people's business. Listen, man, sometimes you have to shut your damn mouth, man. Sometimes you have to shut your damn mouth and live and let live. You running your mouth about everybody's business, what you like and what you don't like. Who cares about what you like and what you don't like, man? No one cares about what you like and what you don't like. It's none of your business, man. All these indirects as well. You see all these indirects, and listen, all these indirects, man. If you don't like something, especially on Facebook, if you don't like something someone's doing, you can just remove them off your Facebook. It's that simple. There's a remove button. What is it? Remove friend. How do you do it? Do you go to account? Unfriend. Is it unfriend? Listen, there's a ton of people that will post on your Facebook. There's a ton of people that you don't like on your Facebook. All you have to do is just unfriend them. You don't need to indirect them and cause a problem between you and them. All you have to understand is, you know what, me and this person don't vibe. Unfriend. That's it, man. Ain't hard to listen. I've unfriended a ton of people, man. Some damn whores on my Facebook talking some nonsense about the Bible, this and that. Some of these Egyptologists add me this and that. You think I got time to go back and forth with them? I just unfriend, man. I just click the unfriend button. I ain't got no time to go back and forth. Why am I going to waste my time? Listen, I got no time for it, man. Just unfriend. It's that simple. Go ahead.
But perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
What perverseness there is a breach in the spirit, man. That's what you do, man. Some people ruin other people's spirit. Have you ever come across those people where they feel better by making you feel bad?
God.
There's some there's people that will break your spirit, man. There's some people that have to uplift themselves. They have to bring somebody down. I see a ton of women do it. They'll say things like, I got my graduate degree. Meanwhile, some women just get pregnant and get government money. Listen, why do you have to put somebody down to lift yourself up? Why can't you just say, I got my degree and it was hard and I'm thankful? That's it, man. You ain't got to say, I got my degree. Meanwhile, some people just live off government money. Why you have to put other people down to make yourself feel better, man? You see, if you have to do that, you're not happy with your life, man. There's something in your life that you ain't happy with. You shouldn't have to put people down to make yourself feel better. You shouldn't have to make people feel bad in order to make yourself feel better. Why can't you just be like, you know what? I'm proud of myself. You don't have to be like, I'm proud of myself. I'm something kind of done this and some people ain't done nothing. Why do you have to be like, oh, especially rappers do it all the time. This is what they say. I've got all this money. F these broke niggas. Why can't you just say you got all this? Why you have to shit on a broke nigga for? Why you have to shit on me for, Salakia? Why you have to shit on us for? Why can't you just say, I've made some money off being a decent rapper and leave it at that? Why you have to say F these broke niggas? Why you have to put them down? You think they're not already upset that they haven't got no money? And then you have to put them down in the process, man. You shouldn't have to put people down to uplift yourself, man. Listen, man, don't do that. Because when you do that, you make people not like you, man. And can you blame them for not liking you? You're putting them down, man. You think all these people you think all these people don't like you because they just don't like you. The reason they don't like you is because what? You're indirecting them on the internet. You're putting them down. You're putting them down to uplift yourself. Why else do you think they don't like you? Go ahead. Side button. Yeah, go ahead.
A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent.
It says a fool does what?
A fool despiseth his father's instruction.
It says a fool despiseth his father's instruction, meaning they don't listen to their father, man. Go ahead. Surely your father, growing up from young, your father would have told you, listen, man, don't run your mouth, man. Don't run your mouth. And this is our problem. We run our mouth too much. We put one another down too much. Instead of uplifting one another, we put each other down, man. Listen, one time, like one time, there's a brother. He must have been 30, passed his theory test. I'm saying, yo, congratulations, man. He's happy that he passed his theory test. Guess what someone said? Oh, you're 30, you should have passed that years ago. I know people who passed it when they were 17. So what if someone passed it when they were 17, man? Listen, people's timing is different. You don't need to put that brother down. That's an achievement for him. Your goals might be different to his goals, man. Your situation might be different to his situation. Why do you have to shit on what he's proud of accomplishing, man? And this is the thing. You think he's going to like you after he's tried his whole life to pass his theory test now. He's passed it and you just shit on him saying, oh, why are you proud of yourself? People passed that when they're 17. Why can't you be like, you know what? That's good, man. You got it done. That's good, man. Give him some encouragement, man. Make him feel somewhat good. But what do? Put him down saying, oh, who cares? People done that when 15 years ago. What's the word? Empathy. Is it a lack of empathy?
Oh, God.
Have some empathy, man. Be wise when you speak, man. You don't know people's situation. You don't know what people's going through. We know you think you this and that and you're on top of the world. Well, not everybody else is on top of the world like you. Understand people's situation is different and people do things in different timing, man. Stop putting people down when you don't need to. If it don't concern you, just shut your mouth and mind your business, man. Let that man be happy that he passed his theory test in his 30s. Let that man be 40 and be going back to college because he wants to study something, man. Let him do it, man. Who are you to tell him he's too old to go back to studying, man? Let him do it, man. Where there's no sin, there's no transgression. Where there's no law, there's no transgression, man. You don't have to put you people down. Go ahead.
Karen, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent.
Go ahead.
In the house of the righteous is much treasure,
Go ahead.
but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble.
Go ahead.
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge.
The what?
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge.
The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, man. A wise person has knowledge on what to say and what not to say. You know a brother's going through something. Don't be insensitive to his situation, man. Don't be insensitive to a brother's situation. He's going through certain things in life, man. Like out here is a hard life, man. He's going through certain things. And then you just come and rain on his parade, man. Listen, don't do that, man. Stop being so insensitive. Stop being so what? Selfish, man. Stop being so give me another word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Just
not understanding.
Yeah, don't be so not understanding, man. Be understanding to every brother and sister situation, man. Every brother and sister's fight is something different. Every brother and sister's struggle and situation is something different. Just because you don't struggle with it, it don't mean they don't. Something which is light work to you might not be light work to them, man. Something which is heavy for you might be light work to them. So you should be insensitive to their situation. They should be they should be sensitive to your situation, and you should be sensitive to their situation. Read on.
But the heart of the foolish doth not so.
But the what?
But the heart of the foolish does not so.
But the heart of the foolish does not so, man. The heart of the foolish don't know when to speak, don't know when not to speak. The heart of the foolish is this. They run their mouth so damn much, man. That's all they do is yap, 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 yap. Run around, running their mouth, talking about things they ought not to talk about. That's all they do. Go ahead.
The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord.
Go ahead.
But the prayer of the upright is his delight.
What verse yet?
8.
Yeah, that's it. And that give me Proverbs 29 and verse 18. But listen, obviously, we can do this class, but obviously, some people have to learn the hard way, man. Some people don't listen. Give me Proverbs 29 and 18.
Proverbs 29 and 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Says where there is what?
No vision, the people perish.
Where there's no vision, the people perish, man. And as a nation, there's been no vision for us until the I.S.U.P.K came, man, and gave you vision. Until the I.S.U.P.K came and taught you these things, man. Taught you not to run your mouth, not to let your words run away, not to run your mouth. And also another thing, so many black men are in jail because they run their mouth so much, man. Don't know when to speak, don't know when not to speak. Go ahead.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keeps the law, happy is he.
He that keepeth the law, happy is he. Part of keeping the law is not being a talebearer, man. Tells you that in the law also. Part of keeping the law is not being a busybody, not being a chatterbox. Listen, man. My mom's got a friend that she has to avoid because this woman's a chatterbox, man. This woman, listen, this is what they used to say. This woman chats everybody's business in what the Smethwick Winston Green area, man. This was an old black woman. She used to wear. I don't know if it's what is it tight? Obviously, you know how sisters wear their tights on their head. Is it tights? That's what I'm saying, man. Listen, we're a creative nation, man. We're a creative nation, man. Who sisters wear tights on their head to go to bed? You see it as the shopping bag. We turn it as the shopping bag into what? It's a shopping bag. We turn it into, what else do we turn it into? We turn it into you put tie it on your head when you're washing your hair. It's a hairnet. We turn this as the shopping bag into a swimming cap. Listen, man, black people so creative, man. And listen, we paint in it as well. Like the things we do, no nation could do the things we do, man. Just a sidebar, we're creative, man. How do you turn it as the, listen, how do you turn a netto bag, a netto shopping bag, man, into a shower cap, man? We know how to save money, man. So we turn the netto shopping bag into a shower cap. We turn tights, man. Tights, which you meant to women wear when obviously it's cold or whatever. Tights women wear, man, under their jeans or with or whatnot. They've turned it into tying their head, man. What do they call it? A stocking foot. A stocking foot, man. They put a stocking foot on their head. Listen, that's creativity, man. The white man must have been pissed that he lost some money when we come up with these creative ideas. Only we come up with these things, man. A plastic bag, a Tesco bag being a shopping bag. Where do we put them? Under the kitchen sink? Or do we have all these shopping bags under the kitchen sink, man? Meanwhile, the white man just throws his away. Look under our kitchen sinks. It's full of Sainsbury's bags, Asda bags, full of containers, man. We got containers, everything, man. Yo, listen, black people are the most creative on the face of the earth. Go ahead.
Carl.
I think it was at Proverbs 29 and probably about 18.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Where there's no vision, the people perish. Go ahead.
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Go ahead.
A servant will not be corrected by words.
Go ahead. That's something else there, but go ahead.
For though he understand, he will not answer.
Go ahead.
Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words?
Seest thou what?
A man that is hasty in his words.
What does hasty mean? In a hurry, man. So see a man that's hasty in his words, meaning a man that runs his mouth, man. A man that always has a comeback, always has to comment, always has to run his mouth. That's the man who's hasty in his words. Go ahead.
Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is no hope of a fool than him.
There is what?
No hope of a fool than him.
Listen, man. That man there, does say more hope for a fool than him? Really?
There is more hope for a fool than of him.
Listen, a man who runs his mouth and is hasty in his words, there's more hope for a fool, man. Because a man that runs his mouth runs a what? What did he say? His mouth runs a mile a minute. Is that what I say? His mouth runs a mile a minute. There's more hope for a fool than him, more than a chatty mouth person, man. These is people that you don't even want to be around, the chatty mouth person. And then people wonder why. Listen, no one tells you stuff because you got such a big mouth, man. You got such a big mouth. Someone tells you stuff in confidence, and then you go and tell the whole world, man. Go ahead.
Verse 21. He that delicately bringeth up his servant.
That's it. Give me James chapter 1 and verse 19. Basically, the moral of this class is, you have to mind your business and know when to speak, man. Mind your business and close your mouth from time to time. You ain't got to be running off your mouth every second of the day. Go ahead.
James 1:19.
Yeah.
James 1:19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear.
Let every man be what?
Swift to hear.
Let every man be what?
Swift to hear.
The Bible says, let every man be swift to hear. Meaning you listen, man. Pay attention to what's being said. Be swift to hear. Someone's talking, you listen, man. You pay attention. Like straight away, we know, we can tell if this person's an idiot or not just by how they speak, man. You've been around those people where you can tell, yo, this is the person I don't want to be around just by how they speak, right? Just by how they run their mouth, you can tell if this is a person that you want to be around or if this is a person you don't want to be around. Go ahead.
Slow to speak.
What?
Slow to speak.
And it says, a man who's hasty in his words, there's more hope for a fool than him. Meaning a fool's got more hope than this man. And it says, be swift to hear and be slow to speak. Because you're speaking and you don't even know what you're talking about. That's most people. You're talking and you don't even know what you're talking about. Like the other day, the brothers went to camp. There was some damn brother in the crowd, which you could tell he was a fool in it. Just by how he's speaking, man. He's not listening. He's just running his mouth. Check out the videos, man. There's new speakings at I.S.U.P.K, United Kingdom. Check it out and check it out, man. Some excellent camp videos, man. Check them out. Go ahead.
Slow to speak, slow to wrath.
Say slow to speak, slow to wrath. Meaning be slow to speak and slow to get angry. Sometimes you have to calm down and don't be getting angry straight away. You listen and you weigh up, man. Is this man worth me listening to? Is this person worth me listening to? It says be slow to speak and slow to wrath. Because you know why? Read that part again.
Wherefore, beloved, let every man be swift to hear.
Be swift to hear, meaning listen, man. Listen when someone's talking. Go ahead.
Slow to speak.
Slow to speak. Because obviously, don't speak until you know what you're going to say. Because if you ain't slow to speak, you're going to be running your mouth, man, and not even know what you're saying. Go ahead.
Slow to wrath.
Slow to wrath. What does that mean? Slow to get angry, man. Because first of all, you hear someone speaking, you're not listening to them, and you're going to get angry. And then what happens when you're angry? You say some harmful things, man. You say some hurtful things. When you're angry, you say some hurtful things, and then guess what happens? As soon as that demon leaves you and you calm down, you regret the things you said. But that person don't forget them words you said, man. That person don't forget them words you said, man. This is why you need to be mindful of what you say, because you can ruin a relationship with someone forever just because you were slow to speak. No, just because you was hasty to speak and you got angry too quick. You could say some hurtful things. You know when people say some things and it's like, oh, so is that what they've been thinking about me the whole time? You're like, oh, is that what this person's been thinking about me the whole time? Listen, once you say some hurtful things to someone, you can't retract those things back. You think they're gonna forget? You think you're gonna forget? You think they're gonna forget what you told, how you told them what you don't like about them? Listen, man. You think they're gonna forget how you said they're ugly and they look like Shrek, and you think they're gonna forget that? Listen, they ain't gonna forget, man. So this is why you need to be slow to anger. If you're not slow to anger, you're gonna hurt one of your brothers and sisters' feelings, man, when you didn't need to. When you could have just been slow to speak, kept your mouth shut, and slow to anger, instead of saying the wrong thing and hurting a brother or sister's feelings. Go ahead.
For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High.
For the anger of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High, man. That don't work with the righteousness. You been angry at your brother, man, running your mouth. That's not the righteousness of the Most High, man. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
That's it on that. Give me Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 18. Yeah. So be careful what you say, because some of your words can be hurtful, man. And some relationships can't be rebuilt. There's some things in life that can't be rebuilt.
There is a speaking like the piercing of a lion tongue.
There is what?
Okay. There is a speaking like the piercings of a sword.
The speakings like the piercings of a sword. Certain things you say will pierce through people, man. You know when someone says, obviously me now, listen, I ain't emotional. Say what you want about me, I'll probably laugh. Listen, indirect me, I'm feeling myself so much, I don't even know you even know about me half the time. So lucky, you know them ones. When someone indirects and you're feeling yourself so much, you read it like, damn, I feel sorry for who they're talking about. This is how I look at your indirects like this. I'm like, damn, that sister's going off on that brother. Who's she talking about? I'm saying, damn, I feel sorry for him. These times you're indirecting me. Listen, I'm so feeling myself. I don't even know you're talking to me. If you got anything to say to me, you better have to say it direct, because I don't even think those indirects relate to me. So lucky. Go ahead.
But the tongue of the wise is health.
But the tongue of the wise is health, man. Meaning, something you say wise can heal a brother, man. Like his situation, you can help his situation. But if you're saying horrible things all day, that ain't gonna help his situation. You know those people who complain and say, "Oh, I've been put down my whole life." Listen, man, you don't want to be putting people down when you don't need to. Most people is suicidal because what? They've been put down their whole life. Being black, especially, they've been told what they ain't gonna amount to nothing. Just imagine you're trying your best and someone's mocking you like, "Oh, you ain't gonna amount to nothing, man." People saying, "Oh, there's no point in you studying that because you're dumb. You this, you that, you're an idiot." Imagine someone putting you down all day. Just imagine you've got a weakness. Now, there's some people who's not what? Some people who ain't good at maths. Some people who ain't good at science. Imagine they're trying their best. Imagine they're trying their best and they're not good at it. And then they come to you. You're meant to encourage them and be like, oh, you done good. Keep on at it, man. You're meant to say you done good, man. Just keep practicing. You will get better. You ain't supposed to say, ha ha, that's rubbish, man. You ain't going to go nowhere with that. How you think they're going to feel, man? They've tried. Not everybody's good at things, man. There's some people who ain't good at stuff in life. And there's some people who is good at stuff. Now, you ain't got to put a brother that, like for instance, a brother that's not good at football. You ain't got to put him down and tell him, look, man, you're never going to make it, man. You get nutmegged in every match. You ain't got to tell him, look, man, you get lobbed in every match. You get nutmegged in every match. You're a rubbish footballer. You're not going to make it. You're just gonna hurt his feelings for no reason when there's no need to. You're telling him something he already knows, man. You ain't got to put him down further. Read that again. Sometimes you can enjoy something that you're not good at. There's a ton of things in life I'm not good at. Go ahead.
There is that speaking like the piercing of a sword.
Listen, man, your speaking's pierced like a sword. What do swords do? Cut deep. That's what it says. It's like the piercings of a sword. Some of your words cut deep, man. Some of the evil things you be saying, you be cutting brothers and sisters deep, man. Or because you don't know how to watch your mouth. Or because you don't know how to be mindful of what you say. Or because you don't know how to be sensitive towards a brother's situation. Go ahead.
But the tongue of the wise is health.
The tongue of the wise is health, man. Therefore, watch your mouth, basically. Go ahead.
From verse 18, from verse 17. Okay. 12 and
18, probably.
18. The lip of truth shall be established forever.
The lips of truth shall be established forever, man. What's the lips of truth? What we bringing out in the UPK, man? It's going to be established forever. Go ahead.
But a lying tongue is but for a moment.
And listen, man, also stop being a liar, man. Stop lying about every little situation. Damn, people always be like, you know, someone lies and you're like, why would they tell that little white lie? Listen, man, don't be telling lies, man. Lying about little situations. Something you did wrong, you're lying about it. Just tell the truth, man. That's what verse you at?
19.
What was it? Proverbs 28 and Proverbs 29.
12, 19.
Proverbs 12 and yes. Okay, give me Proverbs 18 and 19.
Proverbs 18 and 19. A brother offending is harder to be won than a strong city.
Listen, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city. It says a strong city, man, meaning a man who goes to war, what does he do? He fights to take that city. He's trying to take that city. And it says a brother offended is harder to be won. Meaning what? If you offend a brother, it's hard to win that brother back over, man. Because you've offended them so bad. It's hard for them. It's hard for you. It's hard for them to forget the evil that you said to them, man. It's easier for you to go to war and take a strong city than for you to get a brother offended. And guess what? Guess how you don't let it come to this. Just don't offend the brother in the first place, man. Watch what you say in the first place. If you be slow to speak and slow to wrath, you won't offend the brother. You won't say some horrible, hurtful things that you're gonna regret later. What you're reading right here is a brother offended, and how did you offend him? With your words, man. You offended him with your words, and it's easier for you to go to battle. It's easier for you to win a city, win a war, than for you to win this brother over. Because a brother offended, you've seen the people that's offended by someone else and they don't want to speak to them. They won't look in your direction because you've offended them, man. And it's hard for you to win them over. And if you do win them over, they can forgive, but chances are they're not going to forget all that horrible stuff you said to them. They know when you're in a mood with them, that's what you really think about them, man. That's what you really think about them. So all this time, what you've been holding in, it took a little bit of anger for you to bring out how you really feel about them, man. It's like when we at camp, man, we be blazing. The white man that acts like he's not racist, get him a little bit angry. He lets us know what he thinks. He lets us know what he really thinks about us. I'm sure one time one of them told us to go and get, this was ages ago, he told us to go and get shot by the police. That's what they really think about us, man. They really think about that all black men should get shot by the police. Now, he's a devil anyway, so I expected that anyway. Obviously, I like when they tell the truth, man. But listen, if a brother that offends another brother, it's hard for you to win him over, man. Go ahead.
A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
Go ahead.
And their contentions are like the bars of a castle.
And their contentions are like the bars of a castle. And what's contention? Contentions, what? Disagreements, right? In opposing arguments. Meaning what? You two are going to be going back and forth, different arguments. There's going to be contention between you two, man. Every time he sees you, he's going to have an issue. You're going to have an issue. You're going to want to resolve it. He ain't going to want to resolve it because you've offended him, man. There's going to be contentions, and that contention is going to be like the bars on a castle. And what the bars on a castle is bars that what? Can't be bent, can't be broken. That contention is going to be like that, man. That contention is going to be ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. Go ahead.
Verse 20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth.
Amen. Go ahead.
And with the increase of his lips shall he be filled.
What verse yet?
21.
Go ahead.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Death and what?
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue, which means what? What you say is the different. Could be the difference between you living and dying, man. Your mouth could be the difference between you dying. Listen, my father wasn't even in the truth, but he used to have a few quotes in the Bible, man. He used to always say to me, "He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life." Listen, when I added the scripture into the class tonight, my dad's face was all over it. It's luck, yeah. That was an old school one. He used to tell me, "He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life." And I used to think, what does this mean? And he used to say to me, "Listen, you're running your mouth. There's going to be some repercussions one day." He said, "Not everyone's into the talking. Not everyone's a verbalist. Not everyone's going to let you run your mouth about them." The Bible says, "He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life." But read this one again.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
What you say? No, read it again.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So what you say can be the difference between you living and dying, man. What you say can be the difference between somebody else living and dying, man. What you say can be the difference between you saving someone's life or them losing their life. What you say with your mouth could be the difference between a brother committing suicide and not committing suicide. What you say in life could be the difference between a brother coming in the truth or not coming in the truth. So you need to be mindful of what you say, because life and death is in the tongue, man. Meaning what you say could be the difference between life and death. The tongue is powerful, man, because you say all sorts of things from it. It's a tool you use every day. Sometimes you use it without using your brain when you run your mouth. You don't even know what you're saying. Sometimes you be saying stuff you don't even know what you're saying. Just understand you're offending people. Go ahead.
And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Yeah. What verse you at?
22.
Proverbs 18 and give me Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 27.
Proverbs 17 and 27. He that have knowledge spareth his words.
He that what?
Have knowledge spareth his words.
He that have knowledge spareth his words, man. Meaning what? He that have knowledge, you don't say too much. You observe a situation. You have to observe a situation, man. Listen, I'm going to tell you a story. One time, this is years ago, I was on the bus. I was on the bus. I must have been about 14, 15 at the time. I was on the bus. There's about 5, 6 brothers on the bus. There's another brother on the bus at the back. He's on the phone. He's saying, "Yeah, man, I'm in Newtown. I hate Newtown. I can see all these dodgy geezers. All these dodgy geezers. I don't like these Newtown. I don't like the Bryden, man. There. And then guess what? One of the other brothers that was on the bus turned around and said, "Hold on, Bryden." That's what they used to call the other gang. He turned around, looked at him and said, hold on, boy them. And Crawford, listen, they beat him up so bad on that bus. As they're hitting him, I'm sure the window broke. I'm sure they used him to break the windows to lock you. They whooped his ass. You know why? Because he didn't know when to speak. You don't know who's who on the bus, man. You don't know who's who around you. You're talking about this gang and gang members, and there's other brothers around you, and you don't know if they're affiliated, man. A wise man would be like, you know what? I'm on the bus, let me text you. A wise man would be like, I'm on the bus, I don't know who these men are. Let me just phone you back when I get off the bus, when it's just me one. You running your mouth can be the difference between you getting beaten up, man. Difference between you getting your partner beaten up. Difference between you going home or not going home. That can be the difference, man. Go ahead.
God.
Oh, what did they say? Nipsey Hussle got killed because he said to one guy that he can't be around there.
God.
Did you read it? They said the guy was a snitch that killed him. They said the guy was a snitch that killed him. They said that Nipsey said to him, listen, you can't be around here. Listen, man, if he kept his mouth shut, that snitch wouldn't have come back and put, 6 bullets in him, man? Even though Nipsey Hussle is a African. Is a Ethiopian. Obviously, it's not our problem. But listen, this is how it goes, man. Obviously, you wanna behave like us. He behaved like a nigga and he died like a nigga, man. Go ahead.
He that have knowledge, spareth his words.
He that have knowledge, spareth his words. A knowledgeable man knows when to speak and when not to speak. You know who you can talk to in certain ways and who you can't talk to in certain ways. Go ahead. I mean, it's like with your slavery also, man. He that have knowledge, spareth his words. You don't just go up to your manager, you're a devil and you're going into slavery and you're a piece of shit. You don't just say that to your manager. You don't go up to your manager and say you're a devil, you're a piece of shit, and I see you in slavery. You don't say that. If you do say that, listen, you're going to be out of a job. You're not going to be able to pay the rent. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to pick up the phone to the school. I've just got sacked from my job. I can't pay the rent. I'm like, why can't you pay the rent? Because I said to my manager, he's a piece of shit and he's going into slavery. And listen, who do you want to pick up the pieces? Us. When you got sacked because of your stupidity, man, not knowing when to shut your mouth. Go ahead.
But the thing is, people know when to watch their mouth because they're manager.
Exactly. You know when to watch your manager, then, but in everyday life, you don't know when else to watch your mouth. At your slavery, you know how to, be polite to your manager. You probably make his tea and his coffee. Do them jobs still exist where people have to make tea and coffee? There's some jobs where your manager makes you make his tea and coffee, man. You're willing to do that. But you ain't willing to shut the hell up when a black man says, listen, man, be quiet now. Go ahead.
And a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
A man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Understand your surroundings. You speaking out a term when the wrong person's around you could be the difference between a situation going down that didn't have to go down, man. Could be the difference between a situation going down when you didn't have to go, when it didn't have to go down, man. Be wise in what you say. Be wise in when you speak. Like today, I was at my slavery today, man. Some damn Edomite. He goes, oh, I'm gonna go out of this store. This is what he said. He said, I'm not a shoplifter, I'm a drug dealer. Now, why are you gonna say that to someone that you don't know, man? You don't know if I'm 999. You don't know if I'm part of 999. He goes, I'm not a shoplifter, I'm a drug dealer. Why would you do that to yourself, man? Sometimes, listen, man, keep your mouth shut. Keep your business quiet, man. Him doing that, he said it so loud. Even the women heard and said, why would he announce that? Like he's proud of it. Go ahead.
And a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit.
And a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. The Lord requires you to be a good man of understanding, meaning you understand when to speak and you understand when not to speak. Go ahead.
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Even a fool, when he keeps his mouth shut, is counted wise. Even a fool is what? A stupid person. He's considered a wise man when he holds his peace. You know why? Because if someone is a fool, you don't know they're a fool because they haven't opened their mouth. They haven't said no dumb shit, so you don't know they're a fool. They haven't said the dumbest thing ever, so you don't know they're a fool. Now, people know you by what you say. By what you say, people know you, man. It's like when you meet someone, usually by how a woman speaks, you know if she's a whore or not, right? By how she speaks, you know if she's a whore or not. By how a brother speaks, the sister should know. Is this the guy I want to spend the rest of my life with or not? Is this the guy I want to court or not? You should know, man. These little things, you meant to pay attention. If you paid attention, you would get quite somewhere in life, man. Pay attention to people's words. If you're speaking to a sister and she says what? A man should be on child support. Straight away, that should let you know, nah, this woman's a fool and she's not for me. Straight away, man. If you speak to a brother and he's like, yeah, man, weed comes from the earth and I like a woman that smokes weed with me and bags up, you should know, nah, this person's not for me. Listen, the Bible says a fool's considered wise, man, when they shut their mouth. But listen, people that run their mouth and speak like that straight away, you should be like, all right, man, this ain't the kind of person I want around me. Some people drop themselves in it. And this is why most people are in jail. You know why? Because they run their mouth too much, man. You spoke so much in that courtroom. You spoke so much in that courtroom that you gave this, you said this on tape that no one needed to know. So guess what? You've incriminated yourself. You've incriminated yourself. What happened to the good old no comment? What happened to the good old no comment? Sit there during the tape, don't even respond when he's asking, so did you see this? Did you do this? And then you run your mouth. Well, I was there, but I didn't do it. But I was there. I saw him do it. You drop everybody in it, man. Everybody's mad at you because you done dropped the whole team into it, man. Because you didn't know when to speak and when not to speak. Go ahead.
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. Even a fool,
when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. Some people in the interview saying, oh, well, I saw the gun, but I didn't touch the gun. Your friend in the interview said, we didn't have no gun. But this one says, well, I saw the gun, but I didn't touch the gun. Obviously, you've just dropped everyone in it, man. These interviews, listen, I watch a ton of the crime channel, man. And there's always that one friend that runs his mouth, that gets the whole team jailed. You all could have got away with the case, but then you got this one guy that doesn't know how to watch his mouth. This one guy that speaks recklessly. This one guy that gets trapped in his words because he's not slow to speak. He just speaks in haste. Before you know it, your whole team's going to jail because of this one guy, man. Go ahead.
And he that shut up his lips is esteemed a wise man.
He that what?
He that shut up his lips.
He that shut up his lips, man.
Is esteemed a man of understanding.
He that shut up his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. He that closes his mouth is esteemed a wise man. Sometimes in life, you have to close your mouth, man. And you be considered a man of understanding. Sometimes people be speaking recklessly. I'll just listen and just think, damn, this person's a fool. Sometimes have you ever heard other people's conversations and you're thinking, listen to this idiot? I've heard people's conversations and I'm thinking in my head, listen to this idiot. This person, I could have thought this person was wise if they kept their mouth shut. Usually when you meet someone, you can know what you need to know about them within 5 minutes. Just by how they speak, how they come across, how they present themselves. Pay attention to detail, man. You can know, you know what? Nah, this guy's not ready yet, man. You know how someone speaks, you can be like, this person's not ready. You can be like, nah, this person's not ready, man. Go ahead. That was it. What verse was it? Proverbs 17. Give me Colossians chapter 4 and verse 5. Be wise, man. It's not hard. It ain't hard to be quiet. It ain't hard not to type your feelings all on Facebook. Listen, all your feelings don't have to go on Facebook, you know. Go ahead.
Every feeling goes on Facebook.
See.
Like, my whole family look and they go, oh, I think she be dumped again.
Exactly.
All them poems up there. I've got my chicks like this. When you feeling down.
Exactly.
The best person you usually pillow. I mean, also laugh. Oh, okay, she's
in her feelings again. She's in her feelings again. Listen, everything doesn't need to go on Facebook. Facebook's not real life, man. It's an internet app. Did you know you can log out of Facebook? There's a log out button, man. You don't have to be on Facebook 24/7. Putting your whole life on there. Putting your baby father's business on there. Listen, man. There's women that take to Facebook for everything. I seen some woman post on Facebook how her partner beat her up. She posted pictures of her face with a little bruise on there. Guess what? 2 weeks later, she was back posting pictures of her and the man together. You think we forgot about them pictures 2 weeks earlier? Listen, man, don't post your whole life on Facebook. Facebook's not real life. There's more to life than Facebook. There's more to life than maybe you don't know. Maybe you're not aware, but there's more to life than Instagram. Maybe you're not aware of it, but Facebook's not real life, man. On Facebook, there's a log out button. Facebook doesn't go more than what? How long's Facebook been around? About 15 years. Listen, before 15 years ago, there was no such thing as a Facebook, man. Go ahead. We know your every feeling and every emotion just by Facebook. Go ahead.
Colossians 4:5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without.
The Bible says, walk in wisdom towards them that are without. Meaning, if you're in the truth, walk wisely towards them that are without the wisdom, towards them that ain't in the truth. Be wise. Go ahead.
Redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace.
Let you what?
Speech be always with grace.
Let your speech be always with grace, man. Be mindful of what you say. Walk in wisdom towards them that are without. Let your speech be what? Seasoned with grace. What does it say? Seasoned with grace.
What?
With what?
Let your speech always be with grace.
Let your speech be with grace, man. Understand what to say, man. Be merciful in what you say. Don't be always beating down a brother or sister. Walk in wisdom towards them that are without the wisdom. Now, everybody else outside of the truth is without the wisdom. So you have to walk towards them with this wisdom. You have to be speaking to them as a wise person. Don't be on the same level and the same wavelength as them. Go ahead.
Seasoned with salt.
What?
Seasoned with salt.
What?
Seasoned with salt.
Your speech has to be seasoned with salt. Don't be running reckless off the mouth. You have to know what to say and when not to say it. Let your speech be seasoned with salt. If there's a situation, know how to address the situation. You address every situation differently. Like, say, for instance, it says, walk in wisdom to those that are without. Now, for us, we know that Nipsey Hussle's a heathen, right? Now, if you just go on Facebook like F Nipsey Hussle, this person, this, that, F Nipsey Hussle, he was a stinking African, blah, 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 blah. Those without wisdom don't understand what you're talking about. So you have to make sure your speech is seasoned and address it properly and be like, Nipsey Hussle is not an Israelite. He's not on the 12 tribe chart. When we talk about black people, we talk about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You have to make those people without wisdom understand what you're talking about. If you just go on the internet, F all these people that die, F all these Africans that blah, 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 blah. People outside the truth, for the most part, don't know the difference. So you have to let your speech be seasoned with salt. Know how to word things and so forth. Know how to speak in season and without season. Go ahead.
Season with salt, that ye may know how you ought to answer every man.
That what?
Ye may know how to answer every man.
Let your speech be seasoned, that ye may know how to answer every man. What does it mean? What do you use seasoning for? Seasoning is what? Seasoning is what? You put seasoning on your food, right? So it's flavored, so it's got a nice taste. Let your speech be like that. Let your speech be seasoned, so people don't receive it wrong. So people understand what you're saying, man. Let your speech be seasoned with salt. Go ahead.
All. That's enough. That's it.
What verse you at? What scripture is that? Proverbs, Colossians 4. Yeah, give me Proverbs 15:28.
Question. Proverbs 21:23.
Proverbs 21:23. No, sir. What's it say?
Question. Proverbs 21:23, and it reads, Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles.
Whoso what?
Keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his
So
soul.
it says, whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue, which means what? You keep your mouth shut. Keepeth his what? Soul from troubles. Now your soul means you, meaning what? If you keep your mouth shut, you keep yourself out of trouble. Because you cause yourself problems and you get yourself in trouble when you run your mouth. When you run your mouth, you put yourself in trouble. When you run your mouth about someone, you cause a problem that you didn't have to cause. So the Bible says, he that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his soul from troubles. So now, say for instance, there's a brother doing something. You run in your mouth, oh, I don't like him, he's an idiot, is this, is stupid, I can't stand him, is blah, 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 blah. You run in your mouth about him, and someone asks you about this person, you be like, oh, he's an idiot, I can't stand him, is this, is that, is blah, 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 blah. Because you've run your mouth, once that word gets back to him, you got yourself in some trouble. He's going to come and whoop your ass because you've run in your mouth about him. But he that keepeth his mouth, if you don't say nothing about him, there's no need for him to whoop you behind. What does it say? There won't be nothing if you don't start nothing. That's what the scripture's saying right here. There won't be nothing if you don't start nothing. If you don't start running your mouth, there won't be no troubles. But if you do run your mouth, you're going to put yourself in trouble, man. Because of that big mouth, you're going to cause yourself an issue. And that's an excellent precept the sister asked. Read it again. Go ahead.
Sister said, what about swearing? As in, curse words?
As in curse words. Obviously, they call it curse words, but swearing ain't a curse word. A curse word in the Bible is this: I hope you get hit by a train. I hope you get cancer. I hope you get this. That's a curse in the Bible. Things like that. That's a curse word. Now, telling someone to F off and this and that, that's not a curse word. That's just what profanity. That's just an offensive word. It's just profanity. Now, is it a sin to use profanity? No, but do you want to use profanity? No, you want to show a bit of decorum and make sure your speech is somewhat. I mean, if you're swearing your head off all day, especially in the truth, if you're swearing your head off all day, why should anybody listen to you? You need to let people in the world know that you speak different to them, that you know how to deliver the message across. Just imagine if for the whole day your speech is this: F F F F F F F F F. Jesus is a black man. F F F F F F F. Why should anybody listen to you? And that's exactly how GMS sound, right? GMS is at camp. F F F F F. You niggas all die. F F F F F. Jesus is black. F F F. You niggas all die. Why should you listen to them? Why should you listen to them when they're speaking like that? And this is why you need to know how to speak. For swearing your head off all day. Now there's a time when you can use foul language, and there's a time when you shouldn't use foul language. I mean, it's like if you're in university and your professor's there and he's teaching you about maths, and he's saying, and yeah, this is what you do. You break down the effing fraction like this. You break down the effing fraction like this. You drag the 2 to effing here, and then you put that 2 to effing under there, and then F it, that's it. Why are you going to listen to him? A professor's not meant to speak like that. And this is why in class, this is why we don't speak like that, because we're seasoned in when to use foul language and when not to use foul language. So you're not going to see me sit here all day saying F, 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 F for the whole day, because there's a time to swear and there's a time not to swear. And in class, now obviously the 1 and 2 words slip through sometimes, slip through occasionally, but to sit there swearing your head off for the whole day, no. In this, you take your profession seriously, man, and you make your speech seasoned with salt, like the Bible says. So there's a time when you can swear, and there's a time when not to do it. So in here, you ain't gonna see us effing and blinding for the whole day. If you did see any brother in here and effing and blinding for the whole day, don't be surprised if you don't see he's not doing the class next week. See a brother effing and blinding in here all day. Don't be surprised if you don't ever see him not doing class again. He'll be the reader from now on. Because there's a time when you must know how to speak and how not to speak. But go ahead, where was we?
2 Corinthians 11:6.
Go ahead.
But though I be rude in speech.
But though I be rude in speech, meaning what? Paul spoke rough, man. The odd words slipped in there occasionally. The odd rude word, that what you would say, excuse my French, the odd rude word slipped in there occasionally. Though he's rude in speech, go ahead.
Yet not in knowledge.
Yet not in knowledge. So he's giving you all this knowledge, but some words is rude. Some of the things he's going to say is rude, but it's not rude in knowledge. Whereas people out there in the world, they're rude in speech and don't have no knowledge. All they do is F and blind for the whole day, effing and blinded, effing and blinding. Sometimes you don't need to F and blind for the whole day. Sometimes let wise words come out your mouth. Why should someone listen to you if all you do is swear for the whole day? You ain't saying nothing they ain't heard before. You swearing all day, you ain't giving them no knowledge. You ain't giving them nothing they've not heard before. Go ahead.
John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Christ is saying, ye are of your father the devil. So right there, Christ is using words. Christ is checking them. Give me the one when he called them vipers and whatnot. So back then, calling someone a viper is like today calling someone like what, a son of a bitch, or a rat, or a snake. So you can use, a few words. Now when people say, oh, why do the I.S.U.P.K swear or curse? That's not a curse. Curse is me saying, I hope you get hit by a train. That's a curse, man.
Matthew 23:33. Ye serpents.
See, Christ called them serpents, man. He called them snakes. Now, sometimes you are going to call brothers a few names. So when Paul said, don't be rude in speech, but not in knowledge, Paul gave them a check-in from time to time, man. Paul's words was rude sometimes. Christ here is checking them. Go ahead.
Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers.
Say that again.
Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers.
Says ye generations of vipers, man. Read that again.
Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers.
Says ye generation of vipers. What's a viper? Like a snake. Yeah, so listen, that's Christ. That's how should I checking them right there? Using what words you would call bad? Go ahead.
God. Can you escape the damnation of hell?
And exactly this is Yahushua checking them. Give me any more on that.
Another question online.
Go ahead.
1 Timothy 4:16. First Timothy 4:16. 2 Timothy. Oh, come on.
What was it? 2 Timothy.
Second Timothy 4:16. At my answer, at my first answer, no man stood with me, but all men forsook me. I pray the Most High that I may not be laid to their charge.
What verse is from 16?
18.
Go up. Go up to 14.
Verse 14. Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil.
So it says Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. This is you talking, Paul, right? So Paul said Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. Go ahead.
The Lord reward him according to his works.
So this man done him much evil, and he said reward him according to his works. So the Lord's going to reward this man according to the evil that he's done, to what he deserves. Same like you see how Paul didn't go shoot him and stab him, because Paul understood vengeance is the Lord's. So when someone does you wrong, you don't go and shoot and stab them, because the Lord will reward them according to their works. The Lord will reward them according to the wrong that they've done to you. And if we follow that in Paul's step, we wouldn't go stab people and shoot people. We'll just leave it to the Lord to reward them. Go ahead.
For he had greatly withstood our words. At my first.
For he had what?
greatly withstood my words.
Go ahead.
At my first answer, no man stood with me.
And no man stood with me, meaning what? No man stood beside him.
Right.
No man stood beside him. No man was there with him. Go ahead.
But all men forsook me.
All men forsook him, meaning all men forsaked him. All men turned their back on him. All men left him. No man was with him. Go ahead.
I pray the Most High that it may be not laid to their charge.
He said what?
I pray the Most High that it may be not laid to their charge.
And what? He prayed that the Most High don't what? Punish them for it.
Right.
He prayed that the Most High don't punish them for it, because Paul had what? Brotherhood. He prayed that the Most High not lay it to their charge, meaning because they forsook him. He prayed that the Most High didn't hold it against them and some kind of punishment for it. So Paul basically what? Forgave them. Paul basically forgave them and didn't want no harm to be done to them, for them forsaking him, for them turning their back on him, for them not standing with him. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Notwithstanding, the Lord stood with me.
So Paul said none of them stood with him, but he's saying the Lord stood with him. So those men that forsook him, none of them stood with him, but he's saying the Lord stood with him. So through Paul's trials, tribulations, and hard times, and the men turned their back on him, he's saying the Lord didn't turn his back on him. The Lord stood with him. Same like in this truth. When your family turn your back on you, they're back on you. You pray the Lord don't hold it against them. Just pray the Lord has mercy on them. And the Lord ain't turned his back on you. Same thing with Paul. Everyone turned their back on him, but not the Lord. Go ahead.
And strengthen me.
And what?
Strengthen me.
And the Lord gave him strength, made him grow in the spirit, man. Gave him strength to endure the hardship that he was going through. As everyone turned their back on him, the Lord gave him the strength to keep going and keep fighting, man, and keep pushing forward. The Lord strengthened him. The Lord didn't make him weak like everybody else. Go ahead.
That by me, the preaching might be fully known.
And that by him, the preaching might be fully known. That by Paul's words, Paul's street speakings like we do, that the gospel may be known. Go ahead.
And that all the Gentiles might hear.
So he said the Lord strengthened him. The Lord strengthened him, that by his words, all the Gentiles might hear. And then when it talks about the Gentiles, it's talking about the Israelite foreigners who was living like Gentiles. It's talking about black men in kung fu outfits, black men who's in the mosque, that all these people that was without the truth, that was living like Gentiles, might hear the words of Paul, and the Lord strengthened Paul for that reason and stood with him. Go ahead.
And I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion.
And Paul saying, I was delivered, man, out of harm's way. He was delivered out of all kind of harm which went his way. The Lord delivered him when the snake bit him on the boat. Remember that one? When the snake, when the ship wrecked and the snake bit him, and when he was in prison and so forth. The Lord delivered him, man. Paul saying how the Lord stood with him. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work.
And he's saying the Lord shall deliver him from every evil work. So every evil that they plot against Paul, everything wicked they want to do to him, everything wicked they've got in their mind, because the Lord's with him and the Lord didn't forsake him, like how the other brothers forsook him, the Lord's going to deliver him out of every evil work. And when you stand with the Lord will deliver you from every evil work. No harm will come your way because the Lord's with you. Meanwhile, your family may forsake you. The Lord won't forsake you. And the Lord will deliver you from every evil work. Go ahead.
And will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom.
And the Lord will preserve him, man. Unto what?
His heavenly kingdom.
And the Lord's going to preserve him, meaning what? Paul died, he's going to keep coming back in the truth. The Lord's going to preserve him when he comes back in this life, the next life, onto his heavenly kingdom. And then in his heavenly kingdom, Paul's going to have some rank, man, because he stood with the Lord, and the Lord's going to preserve him and keep him till his heavenly kingdom. Go ahead.
To whom be the glory forever and ever, amen.
And he says, to whom be the glory forever and ever and amen. So this is him glorifying God, because God's preserving him until the kingdom, meaning Paul's going to keep coming back in the truth until he's in the kingdom and get some rank and whatnot. Is there anything else, or that was it? And sis, hopefully, I hope that answers your question. Where did we leave off before that? Give me Proverbs 15 and 28. Sisters, let me know if that answers your question.
Proverbs 15:28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
The heart of the righteous studieth to answer. A wise man does this. Studies to answer, meaning what? He studies and he knows how to answer. a certain situation. He knows how to diffuse a situation, man. Certain situations, he knows how to diffuse situations. He knows how to not make a situation escalate. He knows what annoys someone, what don't annoy someone. Go ahead.
But okay. But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
The mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things, man. The mouth of the wicked is on. The mouth of the wicked is on what? Is on Facebook Live right now, running their mouth. Is on Instagram Live, running their mouth right now. I see people making videos. Some people's passed away. I see other people making videos mocking them. What do you think that person's family are going to do to you when they catch you, man? You're putting yourself in problems that you didn't need. You're putting yourself in problems that you didn't need, man. Go ahead.
The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayers of the righteous.
Listen, the Lord's far from the wicked, man, and he hears the prayers of the righteous. Give me Psalms 141 and verse 3.
Psalms 141 and 3. Set watch, O Lord, before my mouth.
Listen, this is what, if you got a big mouth, this is what you need to be praying for, man. Read it again.
Set watch, O Lord, before my mouth.
Listen, if you got a big mouth, this is what you need to be praying for, man. That the Lord helps you to keep your mouth shut, man. Before you get yourself in some problems, them big mouth people that can't keep their mouth shut, you better be praying to the Lord that he helps you to keep your mouth shut, man. That he watches over your mouth. Go ahead.
Keep the door of my lips.
Keep what?
The door of my lips.
It says keep the door of my lips, man. Meaning, what do doors do? Doors open and shut, man. You should be praying to the Lord that he keeps your mouth shut. Pray to the Lord, oh Lord, please strengthen me so I don't run my mouth so damn much. So I don't get beaten up because I've run my mouth. Listen, remember that time a few years ago when that brother ran his mouth here and then they've caught him and they've stripped him and made him jump in the skip?
Yeah, God.
Can you remember it?
God.
All because he ran his mouth. And then guess what happened after that? He ran out of Birmingham. He moved to a new city, man, because he was so ashamed. Oh, yeah, and he urinated all on himself, man, because he was that scared. And this is why you don't run your mouth. Don't run your mouth, because you're going to run your mouth and people are going to pull your card. And guess what? I have to sit down and watch the videos and be like, I told you so. I told you so. Don't run your mouth. And then there's no need for someone to pull your card. Go ahead.
Set watch before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Incline not my heart to any evil thing.
That's it. Give me a Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 3. And also, any more questions, just type them in and we'll get to them.
Proverbs 13 and 3. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life.
Listen, this was my dad's favorite scripture, man. He that what?
Keepeth his mouth keepeth his life.
He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. Meaning, if you can keep your mouth shut, there's no need for someone to stabbing you for running your mouth. There's no need for someone to kill you for running your mouth. If you can keep your mouth, you can keep your life, man. If you can keep your mouth, you can avoid life in jail, man. People be doing robberies and telling the whole world, I did it. Listen, I seen a man come on Insta Live and say he killed Nipsey Hussle. Did you see it?
No.
So I don't think he did, but some man come on there saying it was him. If he did do it, if he keeps his mouth and keeps his life, man, can keep his freedom, shit, you ain't got to run your mouth 24/7. Go ahead.
But he that opened wide his lips shall have destruction.
He that opened wide his lips shall have destruction, man. You're going to be destroyed for running your mouth. Someone's going to pull your card and you're not going to like it, and there's going to be nothing you can do about it. And you're going to learn the hard way why you shouldn't run your mouth. You're going to learn the hard way why you should shut your mouth from time to time. Give me Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 17.
Proverbs 26 and 17. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife.
He says, he that passeth by and meddleth with strife. This is the next thing I'm going to go into. Mind your damn business, man. It's important to mind your business. Do you know how important it is to mind your business? It's very important, man. Stay out of people's business, man. Go ahead.
He that passeth by and meddleth with strife.
He that passeth by and meddleth with strife, meaning there's a problem going on, and you're being in people's business, instigating, passing one message from this person to that person. You being an instigator. Go ahead.
Belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears.
It's like one that what?
Taketh a dog by the ears.
So you messing around with people's business, meddling in strife. You're like a man that takes a dog by the ears. What happens when you take a dog by the ears, man? This dog attacks you, man. You're messing around with this dog when the dog's minding its business and you're getting involved, bothering it. That's how you are when you get involved in people's business. Go ahead.
As a madman who casteth firebands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor.
Read that again.
He that passeth by and meddleth with strife, belonging not to him.
So it's he that passeth by and meddleth with strife is like you being nosy is one that passeth by. Go ahead.
Is like one that taketh a dog by the ears.
You like one that takes a dog by the ears, man. You getting in other people's business. What's gonna happen? You take a dog by the ears. What happens? This dog's gonna attack you, right? You get involved in people's business. Someone's gonna knock you upside the head for getting involved in their business, man. Someone's gonna knock you upside the head for you getting involved in their business. Go ahead. That was it. Yeah, go ahead. Give me. You got a question online? Yeah.
Facebook.
I think it's Facebook. No, there's one on the. There's one from Fire. She goes.
Okay.
Is it on there? Has it come up?
Yeah, it's good. Clark, can I get a breakdown on Matthew 27:46? Who is Eli or Eli? Matthew 27:24, 25, 46.
Go to 45.
45. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land unto the 9th
So
hour.
this is when Christ is on the cross being crucified. Is on the cross being crucified. Go ahead.
And about the 9th hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani.
So now, obviously, this is the bastardized version of the Hebrew, right? So when it's on the cross, when it's saying Eli, Eli, in Hebrew it was Elohim, right? It's saying Elohim, Elohim, which means God. And then when you read on, it tells you what it was saying in the English. So when you're saying Eli, Eli, that's not a person. Basically, what it was saying God, God. What it was saying in the Hebrew. So the Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani is a bastardized version. So he was saying Elohim, Elohim, which means God in the Hebrew. Go ahead.
That is to say,
So now it's telling you what it was saying. So right there is the bastardized version of the Hebrew, and then it's that is to say, and then now it's telling you what he was saying in the English. Go ahead.
my God, my God.
So when it says Eli, Eli, he was saying my God, which means Allah. He was saying Elohim, Elohim. So he was saying God, God. That's what the Eli. So they write Eli, Eli in Yiddish, but if it was original ancient Hebrew, say Elohim, Elohim, and in English the translation is my God, my God. So Eli is not a person. He was just saying God, God. Go ahead.
Why hast thou forsaken me?
So he was saying God, God, why hast thou forsaken me? Now when he's saying God, God, why hast thou forsaken me, he was just saying why is it taking him so long to die, right? He's just saying, why is it taking him so long to die? Because he was on the cross. He's not saying that God left him. He's just saying, Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Because he's on the cross. He's in pain. He wants it over and done with it as soon as possible. But the Lord made it go on a bit and done it in his timing. So that's why he was saying, why hast thou forsaken me? He wasn't saying, God, why have you left me? He was just saying, why hast thou forsaken me? Meaning, why ain't it over as soon as I want it to be over? That's all he was saying. So when you said Eli was just saying God in English. That's all on that. Let me know if you let me know if you understand that or not.
Like a lot of Muslims do that. Well,
Is that the same?
Name, not knowing that they got only got name.
Exactly.
For the title.
Exactly. You're saying Allahim. Is that what they say? Pull it up in the this the blue letter. Yeah, pull it up. See if you can get the. So it's of Hebrew origin, and then the word it means my. When you go in there, it says my God. So that's all it was saying. Yeah, that's all it was saying there. So Eli is not a person because I heard this in the book of Eli. Something called the book of Eli. I've never read it. You ever read it? I've never read it in my life, but yeah, that's got the book of Eli or whatever. That's got nothing to do with the Bible. So the sister said, "Khan, what's the difference between Eli and Yahweh?" Yahweh is his name, and Elohim is what, plural?
Elohim's the title.
Elohim's the title, and then Yahweh is his name. So it's near enough. It's synonymous.
Right.
Go ahead.
Like Eli, that's in my power. Like you call your dad is his name.
Yeah.
How is his name?
Yeah.
Like your dad's name is Patrick. Patrick's his name. Dad's title. How is his name? What? Power.
But basically, it's calling the same person in short. Go ahead. Is there any more on that? What did you say? She's not sure of the. Yeah, and then that's it. So it was just saying, my God, my God. So that's all it's saying in that one. Take me to. Give me Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 3.
Proverbs 20 and 3. It is an honor for a man to cease from strife.
It's an honor for a man to cease from strife, man. You ain't always got to go to war with everyone. You ain't always got to kick off with everyone. You ain't always got to want to fight with everyone. It's an honor for a man to cease from strife, man. Half these things ain't even worth it. Arguing over Facebook, definitely cease from that. Arguing over Facebook ain't worth it. It's pointless. Listen, you're arguing with someone that you hardly see. Imagine that. Imagine that someone that you hardly see, you letting their opinion. Listen, stop caring about what other people's opinions on you is, man. Who gives a damn about what their opinion is? Go ahead.
But every fool will be meddling.
But every fool will be meddling, man. Every fool gets involved in strife, gets involved with these back and forth arguments. On Facebook, you see 3,000 comments. You seen them ones? On Facebook, you see 3,000 comments. Every fool gets involved, man. Don't be a fool, man, getting involved in all this nonsense. Go ahead.
But every fool will be meddling. The sluggard will not plow by reason.
Give me a 1 Peter 4 and 14. Probably one of these. No, after this, I got one more thing. I think this is the right one.
First Peter 4 and 14. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahushua, happy are ye.
Says now, if you be reproached for the name of Yahushua, meaning what? If people hate you for Christ's sake, be happy, man, because they're hating you for the right cause. Go ahead.
But the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified.
Go ahead.
Let none of you be a sufferer as a murderer.
So what? He said suffer for being a righteous man and serving Christ, but he said don't suffer as a murderer, meaning what? Don't be a murderer. Now, if you're a murderer, people are going to hate you. What do you expect? You're a murderer. Obviously, people's going to hate you. Go ahead.
Or as a thief.
Or as a thief. If you're robbing everybody, if everyone has to hide the women have to hide their handbags when you come around, and men have to zip up their pockets when you come around, don't be mad when people don't like you. You're a thief. Why would they like you? Who does? Who likes a murderer and who likes a thief? Go ahead.
Or as an evildoer.
Or as an evildoer. Obviously, you're doing evil. People ain't gonna like you. What do you expect? Why is someone gonna like you when you're doing evil to everybody? They're not gonna like you. Go ahead.
Or as a busybody.
Or as a what?
Busybody.
Or if you're a busybody that runs your mouth all day, why is people gonna like you when you spend all your time on Facebook gossiping, on the phone gossiping, running your mouth? Why is anybody gonna like you? Are you surprised nobody likes you? Are you surprised nobody doesn't want to be around you? Why would they want to be around you when you're a thief, a gossiper, an evildoer? Who wants to be around you when all you do is gossip? All you are is a busybody. All you do is chat people's business. You think they don't like you for Christ's sake? No, man, they don't like you because you don't know how to shut the hell up, man. They don't like you because you're robbing everybody's money, man. They don't like you because what? You rob their partner. What is that, partner? They don't like you because you rob their partner, man. Why are they going to like you? The Bible says, suffer for Christ's sake, for righteousness' sake. Make people hate you for Christ's sake. Don't make them hate you because you're a disgusting thief. Don't make them hate you because you're a chatterbox. Listen, if you're a chatterbox and people hate you, don't be surprised. You're a chatterbox. What did you expect? Did you expect them to love you? Did you expect them to love you when you got a big mouth and you're a chatterbox? And with that, we say shalom. That brings us to the end of the class. We're going to do the announcements and the prayers, and then we're out of here.
Top class in rubber hand. The I.S.U.P.K security announcements. With the I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohanna. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will call each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18, Malachi 3 and 8, 10. It's 10 in the Hebrew and Aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations of Passover, April 20th, at the Woodhaven Banqueting Hall, Queens, New York. All active to the bulletin board in the hallway and all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and headscarf. And with that, Al-Madiam, this is the Lord's Prayer. And Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak of Daba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nafanina, Nakam, Cow, Yuwam, Basalakina, Kabawakina, Kasalakina, Kabawakina, Bala'ah, Tabi Ainawa, Banasoya 1, Abba. Hawashayna, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahafapara, La'abalamim, Amen.
Our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. Give us our debts, and forgive us our debt. We forgive our debtors, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. And we pray for the power of the Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baruch Nafaninawa, Haka, La'Qa'ah, Kalmakla, Bakalmadawa, Haka, Lataha, Hamatazarayim, Haka, Lahakwiya, Hamafia, Haka, Awakawaf, Hatama Allah, Lagarasham, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Dawala Aman. In English. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power,
please give us the
the power to heal
all
all manner of sickness,
manner of
and
sickness,
all manner of disease,
and all manner of
the
disease,
power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the
the
lepers,
power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean
to
spirits,
cast them out,
to cast them
in
out.
the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua,
Thank you.
thank you, so be it. And the blessings, Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushua, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Mataz Nabi'ah, Allah Wapihanna, Ha Allah Wapyan, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kwatazayanyam, Ha Kalayayam, Wa Akwafyam, Yahweh, Wa Shem Yahushua, Wa Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh,
And Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and
the angels,
commanding
GEN.YAHANNA,
General
the generals,
the general,
the captains,
the captain,
the officers,
officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
thank you.
thank you,
So be it.
so be it.
Curses, bless you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you,
King
Yahweh,
of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
all things living,
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now,
and
evils,
evils,
curses,
and curses,
punishment,
and punishment,
and destruction,
destruction,
death,
and death
to the heathen,
that
speak against us,
speak against us,
my prophets,
the
teachers,
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests, the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school,
and
and evils,
evils,
curses,
and curses,
and punishment,
and
destruction,
destruction,
and death
to
the heathen,
the
shake loose
the
pocket
the
of the rich of Israel, that refuse
that
to
refuse
give to the school,
to give to the school,
force their riches,
riches,
to enter into thy sanctuary,
to enter into thy sanctuary,
and evils,
evil,
curses,
and curses,
punishment,
punishment,
destruction,
destruction,
and death
and death
to the Edomites,
and
the nations,
and the nations,
and their drug dealers,
and the drug
the
dealers,
court system,
the court system,
the prison system,
Planned
Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope, Islam,
Christianity,
Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads,
Pasikomatazzi,
the gay movement, the lesbian movement,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
witchcraft,
NASA space program,
army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Marines,
Wall Street,
open
up the internet,
and
the airways,
cable
access channels,
the
radio channels,
and the radio channels,
convict the spirit
of
any of thy people,
that
seek to stop us,
and
brings with death,
death
all the heathen,
that
stand in the way,
or
try to stop us,
from
broadcasting your words,
broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth, let loose all the terrorists, cause them to go, to and fro,
to and
to the earth, destroy, cause the terrorists, come against America, destroy them,
and
their strongholds,
in their stronghold.
let America shake,
Let America shake
the hands of the terrorists,
at the hands of the
let
terrorists.
Yahushua,
Let Yahushua,
Michael,
Gabriel,
come down,
come down,
with flying saucers,
the flying saucers,
to all the heathen,
and to all the
that
heathen
come up against us,
that come up against us,
speak thy word,
and to speak thy word,
cause it to be known
by
by all,
all
the angels
that is the
that have
angels
done it,
that have done it,
cause it to be spread
to
the media,
throughout the media,
throughout the whole world,
throughout
cause them to shake at thy coming, in the name of Yahushua,
the name of Yahushua. Thank you.
always,
So be it. May the blessed Israel
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barakana, Wayasha'ala, Wahabaya, Sapayim, Barak Papa, Magan Hagan, Aiden,
all Israel,
Ba'ashem Yahushua, the one Aman,
all
and what would the simple Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school, bless the shield, protect our loved ones, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, and so be it. With that, we want to teacher of Israel, Aman Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatah,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakafam.
Yajamata, a class is best.